What's going on, guys? Me and Jason don't have an adventure planned, mainly due because I was on the boat the last couple days and he is currently up at Hartley's. We just want to kind of give you guys something different, so I'm just going to basically do a Utila video, which is where I was for the summer of 2022. I spent about 3 months there and it truly changed my life. So I got a bunch of dive footage there. I had a Vaquita Paralens. So I was learning how to work with it, but near the end of that trip, that camera did unfortunately bust. Some water got into some ports and stuff like that, and it just stopped working, and then the company actually went bankrupt, and so now we can't fix the camera at all. But I was able to get a new dive camera for the Great Barrier Reef, and I'm trying to figure out some ways that I can get you guys footage for that, but I'm still working on it, still getting used to this dive shop, so but we still want to give you guys that long-awaited dive video. So basically it'll just be a rundown of Utila, some of the things I saw. I have enough footage to probably make 2 videos on this, and I'll also get my friends that were all there, probably get them to send me some of their footage and stuff like that too, so maybe we can span it out into 3. So let me know if you guys like the Utila video today. Most likely more to come. And yeah, thanks for watching, and let's get into it. Alrighty, guys, so I'm just going to be talking a little bit about Utila, all that I did there, and how much fun it was. So enjoy some of the dive footage that I got while I rant on about this. Sorry, the footage might be a little shaky. It was on a Vaquita Paralens, and like I said, not the greatest camera, but I was able to get the job done and get you guys some cool content. So I was in Utila, Honduras for about 3 months in the summer of 2022, and it was right after me and Jason dropped out of college, and this was, my first destination. Jason stayed in Hawaii and worked for a while longer, but Hawaii just wasn't working for me, and on the spring break trip, me and my family went out there, and my dad was like, they have an entire, college for diving, right next door to... Because we went to the Utila Lodge and we were diving with them, and then my dad, he was like, it's next door. I was like, nope. And then, yeah, pretty much the rest is history. So, packed up all my things out of Hawaii, moved to Utila, and spent the next 3 months there, where I had the absolute time of my life. I met so many amazing people. I dove the reefs so many times, to where I still have most of the dive sites memorized, and yeah, just made some amazing friends that I'll have for the rest of my life most likely. I got an amazing job as a dive instructor, and one of the most important things, I met my beautiful girlfriend Mariel there. So many things to be thankful for this little island for. And yeah, just full of blessings and all of that kind of stuff. So for my first month, I did the Whale Shark Oceanic Research Center, or WSORC. We were called WSORCies, sort of our little plural term. So basically, this was just the first month that I was there, and we did all kinds of things such as lionfish removal dives, because if you didn't know, that they are invasive in the Caribbean, and they are decimating reefs out there and eating a lot of its inhabitants. So we would go out on the boat and with the little zookeeper, which is a little thing we keep them in, and Hawaiian slings, and basically remove them from the reefs. And not to toot my own horn, but I was quite good at this. All right. I knew their mindset. I knew where they like to hide, and I decimated the lionfish population. I think I killed maybe 30 to 32 lionfish in my month that I was there, while everyone else was maybe hitting 10, 15 if they were lucky. So me and my Hawaiian sling, Jack Spiro, yeah, we decimated those lionfish. We would also record all the data from them, how big they were, male or female, what types of antennas, and then we would also dissect them and check all of their stomach contents to see what type of animals that they were eating. So we would find a lot of shrimp in there, a lot of small fish, which was, kind of hard to see sometimes because, you know, all these animals that we were finding, they should not be in there, and they should be still swimming around on the reefs. So um, if you think it's bad that, we're like taking these guys off the reefs, just know that they're doing a lot more damage and we're actually helping out. And lionfish are also delicious. So pretty much all of the things from the lionfish would be used in some purpose. Like almost none of the lionfish was wasted. So like the spines and the scales, they were used for jewelry. The meat, obviously, we ate and was delicious. And then the rest we would feed, or at least I would feed, like all the rest of that stuff to my tarpon that chilled outside on the dock there at the lodge. So necessary, sad at sometimes, but still very cool to do. We also did reef surveys. So in order to do that, we pretty much had to memorize every single organism on the reef. So we learned all the fish, learned all the Latin names of every single coral, and also reef-associated organisms. Obviously, we couldn't get every single animal. There would be that rare like fish or like small shrimp that we just wouldn't know, or you just see very, very rarely to where they wouldn't need you to memorize it. But we memorized literally everything. So that was really cool, and we would do reef surveys where we would count abundances of that stuff, and we'd be able to publish it for scientific research. So that was also awesome. And then we also did things such as cleaning coral nurseries. So they would they would have coral nursery trees, where we'd have a bunch of staghorn coral, Acropora cervicornis, if you were wondering. And yeah, they just get some algae on them. Like unfortunately, if there was like some Skittle D on there, which I'll get into in a minute what that is, we'd have to report that and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much just clean those. Every now and then we would see some squid chilling around there, or like some tiny baby slender file fish, or like some decorator crabs, so that was always a treat as well. And then we would also pretty much not cure, but prevent Skittle D. So Skittle D is stony coral tissue loss disease. It is a disease that infects most of our hard corals that we have here in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if it's going on in other parts of the world. I really hope not. But a really, really bad disease that is affecting a lot of corals, such as Meandrina, Meandrites. A lot of those have almost gone extinct from Utila. Also the Dendrogyra cylindris. It's very, very rare that you see alive, healthy corals of those two types, just because the Skittle D has pretty much wiped them off of the reef. And all you can see is that skeleton covered in like brown algae and stuff like that. So that is very sad. But we do have this little like Play-Doh-like putty that we would put around lesions of corals that were affected with this Skittle D, and we could pretty much prevent that. It's not a cure, but it's kind of a prevention until we find a better solution to, fix these diseases. So did all that. Whale Shark Oceanic Research Center was so much fun, and if you are in Honduras, I highly recommend going to Utila, showing them some love, and doing that internship position, because we would dive like twice a day, and then we'd go in the classroom and go do like propagule collecting, and then just all other kinds of stuff. So first month was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, all my Wazorkis left, and I obviously had to stay for an extra 2 months. So all of them left, unfortunately, even though I was there all alone. But next month, when I was doing my dive master, a whole batch of 10 new Wazorkis came in, and obviously Mariel was one of them. So that made it just that much more fun. But yeah, so they all moved into the same apartments that we were in, and since it was only me, they just stuck me in there with them anyway. And we were all around the same age group, so it was totally fine. And we practically became like a little family. Like there was about 11 of us, and we all loved diving. We loved the reefs, and yeah, we're just so happy to be there, and glad that all of us were having as much fun as the next. So I was doing my dive master while they were doing Wazork, and the dive master internship, or not internship, certification is basically just an assistant to an instructor, which we are very thankful for. Like, dive masters are the lifeblood of dive shops, and because a lot of stuff that us instructors do is actually very difficult to do without a dive master, which I am figuring out, because we don't have dive masters that are at pro dive. So I'm really hoping I had one with me on some of these, but it's okay. And then around 7 out of the 10 of those Wazorkis actually also stayed for their dive master program. Only 2 of them were going to do it at the start, but then we convinced like 5 to 6 of them to actually stay for their dive master as well. So pretty much all of them stayed. Only a few left, and then obviously we had another batch of resort come in on the next month. While they were doing their dive master, and I was doing my instructor certification. So I was doing the IDC course, which is a 2.5-week course to where they just drill into your mind how to be a good instructor. So I did it with all these people right here. They're all off in different parts of the world right now doing instructor work and working at dive shops, or they're just traveling, keeping up to date with some of them. So yeah, very good people, and yeah, we're all just doing instructor work on totally different parts of the world right now. But very vigorous course. It's, I would say, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, simply because they want to make sure that you can become a good instructor, and that you will be solid. Like, you can go to any dive shop, you can go to any part in the world, and you will be a solid instructor no matter what. So yeah, very vigorous course. They make sure you get it down, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, and then I went back, like I said, in for New Year's. Sorry, for New Year's, just dive for fun. Got to see everybody again, sort of little reunion trip. But yeah, and now I'm here doing instructor work at Pro Dive Cans. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed all these little clips and sort of me ranting about Utila, on how much I enjoyed it, and honestly how much I owe it. Like, this little island completely changed the course of my life, at least the foreseeable future, and yeah, I just feel like I owed it a little bit more gratitude than that 20 to 30 minutes on the podcast that it gave. So yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed all the clips that I've got here that I collected over the 3 to 4 months. So appreciate you for watching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.